Hey everybody, glad you're here. Get ready with me using kind of a mishmash of new makeup here. I've got a variety of different things and I'm going to work them into a whole look today. I gotta tell you, I am tired today. I am so tired. I fell asleep on the couch. Bub and I both did, and I was sleeping there until about midnight, which is not normal. And then by the time I shimmied into bed, I was kind of awake and it took me some time to get back to sleep. And then at 3 a.m. I hear absolute screaming coming from Rhett, who is one of the most reliable sleepers I got. He was screaming, thought a wasp was in his bed. Thought he got stung by a wasp, actually. Had a bad dream. Get through that, get back down, fall back asleep, and then it was like, boom, snap your fingers and it's time to get up for the day. I tell you, I gotta pat Bub on the back. He has been, what did he say? In the month of July alone, he got like 16 new cases. In case you don't know, 1 year ago he opened up his own law practice. So he's got all these cases on top of, a lot of cases he already had. And it's like every evening he gets home, he eats dinner, he plays this game called Monster with the kids where they hide and then he's the monster and he chases them like all throughout the house. Everyone is at a dead sprint in the house. Plays that for a while and then he cracks open his laptop and he is working on somebody's case. And I'm just really proud of him. He has been working his tail off. But yeah, we're tired around here. We're tired. And my contact feels like cloudy today. I don't know if it's just not like rotated around properly in my eye. Not helping things. Okay, I've got this. I got this from Milani. This was sent to me. Milani Clean Start Prep Step Hypochlorous Acid Facial Mist. Oh, it's got a sticker on it. So some kind of misting prep step. I have absolutely nothing on my skin right now besides my skincare. Oh no! Pulled some of the label off. I don't like that. See, that's gonna bug me. Oh no, it said apply to clean, dry skin, AM or PM. I was thinking it was gonna be like a priming step. Use it after cleansing, but prior to serum, essence, moisturizer, and SPF. Well, doggone it. Okay. Well, they have this. We'll work this in another time. I don't want to put it on now over this stuff because they talk about it like it's soothing, clarifying. I don't want it to undo any of the skincare I already have on. It's no longer Milani, it's just Ilani. Okay? There's a cat scratching at a door. For foundation, nothing brand new. I'm really just trying to use foundations that I think can hang with my slightly deepened skin tone for the summer. So this is 129 in the Maybelline Superstay Lumi Matte Foundation. Shake her up. She's a very thin foundation and tends to look really good on my skin. So I'm going to dab it around. I haven't been like wildly impressed by the staying power, but we're in such different conditions day to day. How much heat are you experiencing? How much sweating are you doing? Varies day to day. So we deal with that. I'm using my little Sonia Kashuk sponge. I think the heat might be breaking for us a little bit today from what I heard. I'm shooting this on Thursday morning. We have been in an absolute heat wave for some time now. This shade does look really good for me. You know what song I got going through my head this morning? It's Miranda Lambert's Everybody Dies Famous in a Small Town. It's a funny song if you listen to it. We're all bopped in. Foundation's looking good. But what is bugging me is the fact that my contacts, like, I don't know what I need to do. I need to rinse them out, put them back in again. I'm going to try to figure that out and I'll be back. Okay, I can see clearly now. I got my contacts rinsed off. Still did a good job blending that foundation even with cloudy eyes. I've got no new concealer, so we're going to pull something out. Let's do NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop. This is in the shade Vanilla, I believe, yes. It really is among the really good long-wearing concealers. And I like the foundation too, but I ended up getting rid of it because the pump broke, got clogged, like stopped pumping anything out for me. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bop it in eventually with my sponge, but I'm first going to spread it. This is the Morphe little chunky M132. Basically says, what is going on? That whole contacts thing was not in the routine. Yep, everything's okay, hon. All is well. And we're going to bop it in with the sponge. I've got 2 out of 3 kids. School supply shopped for. Taking Rhett tomorrow. He's very excited about this. He goes, don't go without me. They had a ton of cute backpacks at TJ Maxx, by the way. Got a good deal on an Adidas one for him that's in like the school colors, the orange and blue. Sorry, something happened over here. I had something to scrape out of the corner of my eye and kind of messed up my look a bit. Now, typically I might say, oh, it's going to be one of those days. No, it's not. I'm not going to write off the whole day just because I had a few random little difficulties in the night and in the morning. We're just going to roll with it and have fun, try to laugh at it. I feel like using some of the Blurfection today. That was what was going on with my contacts, some Blurfection. The shade is called Pink Light. I'm going to use my little e.l.f. Pinky Puff. Hot Pink. Where's Hot Pink? Yeah, she's dirty. I need to do some brush washing this weekend. Let me teach the girls how to do that. They went to work with Bub again yesterday. They like to go in for a little bit and just, I don't know, hang out in the conference room and pretend like they're talking about stuff. I don't know. They get out these big sheets of paper and draw on them and stay for a couple hours. That's all it is. But then we got into the conversation later. They were saying, what job do you think I'd be best at? Give me my top 3. For Biddy, I said meteorologist, because I know that's what she really likes right now. She really has a natural interest in science. I do feel like she'd love that. She loves weather too. So I said that. And what else did I say? I could see her as a doctor. And I said teacher too. I know she's been interested in the idea of that for a while. And then for Belle, I said lawyer because she can battle you sometimes. She's a very good arguer. She's very good at remembering little details, very good at pinning you down to little things you might have said. So there's that. She's also just so darn pure of heart. I see her maybe in some kind of career also where she's helping. I could see her maybe being a teacher / cheerleading coach. I told her I could also see her on Broadway. And for Biddy, I also thought an actress. For sure. Anyways, there's the look we're rocking right now. I'm really not very tacky all over my skin. Given all the events of the morning, I think this has had a nice little chance to dry down somewhat. Now we can move on to the next thing, which is new, and it's from Rimmel. Rimmel Multitasker line. You know I am just drawn to new Rimmel stuff. I've just been very impressed with this brand. And this is the Multitasker 3-in-1 Bronzing Stick. The shade is tan. This is now in Walmart, and I probably got a darker shade than I needed to. I got it online with my groceries and it was just hard to tell, but it says bronzing, contouring, and sculpting stick. She's kind of dark. I haven't used it at all yet, so I don't really know how richly pigmented it's going to be, or is it going to be more like soft and balmy? I'm getting a little bit more of a balmy vibe. Going across the skin feeling kind of rich, giving me really the feel of a Merit blush or a Merit bronzer, but yet I'm getting a lot more color. Let's see how she blends. Complete and total ease. Wow. Very nice, Rimmel. I'm actually really glad I got this shade because it's blending so easily. It's not like a thick, hard to work with type of deal. Look how easy. You know, I kind of buffed into it a little bit and now I'm patting. I am into it. That blended so nicely, leaving just a hint of tackiness on the skin though. I will say that. There was a richness. When it swiped across, it really left a trail, you know what I mean? It was thick, but not pulling in the least. Again, texture of a Merit stick, but more pigment than that. Super cool. But when they say 3-in-1 bronzing stick, I guess the bronzing and the contouring, but why sculpting is kind of just another word for contouring, isn't it? We got a couple new things here from Profusion. They've got this little It's a Vibe limited edition collection, I guess. It's kind of a festival thing. It's been out for a little while. And we have a blush trio, and I have a couple of highlighters that look like they're going to be like ColourPop Super Shock highlights. And also to come in this video, Profusion has repackaged their 10-pan eyeshadow palettes, and even the larger ones too are in this kind of clear plastic, and I like that. And they sent me a handful of these in a lot of shades that I currently own, and it really seems like they're the exact same shades, just transferred into a new packaging. But this one called Nudes, I'd never had this. I don't know if it's newer or if I just missed the boat on it, but I thought we could play with that today. I had something called Bear that I really, really liked from Profusion as far as a natural eye palette goes. I thought the packaging was so cute. I didn't want to take it out before you saw it, but this thing's really in there. Oh, yep, our heat wave is coming to an end today and tonight. Cold front will push through. Here's the blush. It looks very corally peachy and actually all matte, 100%. That's interesting. And if it's anything like Profusion's typical blush formula, they should be pretty pigmented. And while I'm in the mode of opening things, I'm just gonna bust out the highlighters too. Highlighter duo. Okay, 2 tones we'll get here in a second. I'm gonna start with this blush on the end. They're just one of those shades that makes you wonder, who are you and how are you gonna show up? A little toasty seeming, but blended out. Really dusty peach is what I'm seeing out of this. Just built it up a little bit. I really like Profusion. They will bust out some fun little limited edition things from time to time, but even just the general stuff they have is really good quality. And by the way, they say it's Leaping Bunny approved, vegan and cruelty free. I dig it, and that's just one shade. We need to pop on at least one of these other 2. Let's just go straight for this middle guy. Woo! I think it's gonna be a little loud. That's okay. I got a little bit on, I'm dusting excess off my brush, and then I'll blend. When I'm thinking color on the cheeks, I feel like I tend to veer more toward like pink or mauve than the orangey corals so often, but I like it. Okay, very cool Profusion, enjoying. Now let's see these highlighters. We've got 2. This one is called Mood. Wow, look at that shine. I gotta bring them in close. Mood, and this one's called Aura, this whitish one. I think the shimmer's gonna be intense with these. They do have that little bit of squish into them. Makes you think ColourPop, but yet the swatch that I'm pulling off here feels more powdery. Why do I always swatch it on the difficult part of the hand to show? The one is like rose gold, and then Aura, can you tell it's shifty? It looks lavender almost. I feel like the top one's gonna go better with the look today. Oh, but there's a lot of fine glitter with these. I don't know, friends. They feel like the texture of, it may take a brush to blend this. The texture of like, you know how Physicians Formula has a butter highlighter? It's in the palette that I love so much, the Dream Team palette. Kind of reminds me of the feel of that. Oh, but it's just, I feel like a lot of the pigment's really dusting away. And I'm just kind of looking up close and seeing a little sparkle, like a little sparkle trail right there. I'm not having any clinging, highly pigmented intensity. I feel like this would be better as an eyeshadow. I'm gonna try again. I don't want to get my face too glittery today, but like it's not showing up in the way I want it to. As I buff, it's like, see you later, friend. Nothing. Except just the little random bits that want to cling. Not into it. Ew, and I just gouged my thumb in. Ah, my hands are covered in glitter somehow. Just completely. I just feel like using something safe on the brows right now. I'm going to use my Benefit Precisely, my brow pencil. Feels safe and familiar. It's okay, Profusion. I still love you. I just don't love the choice you made with that. That's Rhett coming out of pre-K. Everything's about choices. Something will happen around the house. And he'll be like, Biddy made a bad choice. Oh, yeah? Yeah, in pre-K you make good choices and bad choices. Okay. I think Rhett and Nana and Papa are having too much fun this summer. I'll drop him off over there and, you know, he likes to mow. And he gets to mow a lot. He does a lot of yard work with Papa. He lives for it. He loves it. And then, like, one day he'll come back and be like, oh, we went to the orchard. We went to the peach orchard. We got peach sundaes. We went to Burger King. We went to Walmart. It's so nice. I'm glad they're having a good time. And that kid loves peaches. He can take down, like, 2 peaches in a sitting, but he does not go for watermelon. And I don't know why. I have the sweetest watermelon that I cut up this past Sunday. Not interested. I love watermelon. That's probably my top favorite fruit. Precisely my brow wax, also from Benefit. Just fluffing them up a bit. I'm not using this because I love it. I'm just using it because I'm using it up. But it's a little tinted. Next up, we've got that Nudes palette, but first I'm going to prime my eyes with Wet n Wild. My eyeshadow has been wearing very well, doing very well with this stuff, so this is another good option out there, in addition to Milani. The key difference is the Wet n Wild neutralizes your lids a little more, and Milani feels more colorless to me, especially with the small amount I'm applying of it, but this, even with a small amount here, you can see it kind of blanks out your lids. I would like to thank you guys so much for the sweet comments, just telling me about your history watching my channel and that you continue to watch. Anybody out there who's watching me and they reference, you know, the apartment days or the old house, like, you have been with me for a long time. I feel like I need to be sending you a special little trophy or a medal or something. Like, thank you for hanging with me. It really touches my heart to hear that, because it's hard, I think, to have any sort of longevity on social media, because there's just so many places people can watch and so many platforms people can watch on. And you know, a lot of things cater to a short attention span. And then here's my videos that'll be sometimes more than 20 minutes long. And I'm asking that people actually sit down and watch these. Like, how dare I? But I thank you to those of you who still watch. I really appreciate it. I'm trying to open this, but I know it's got to be sealed somewhere sneaky. Yep. Here's a little tape. So I just checked my drawer where I have my Profusion palettes, and I have, in the old packaging, I have Bare, Mattes, Smoky. I have something called Classics that had like a black in there, but I did not have nudes. You can see a lot of the shimmer up top. They've labeled on the back, this one is a shimmer, and the rest of the top row, they're calling that metallic, and then the whole bottom row is matte. A very good string of matte basics. Like, is anybody else getting a Patrick Ta kind of vibe with that bottom row? I was just using Major Dimension 1 earlier this week, so that's why I think that. Where to begin? I'm thinking middle, bottom row, you. It's honey mustard, basically. We got honey mustard there, and then right beside it we maybe got some barbecue sauce. Gonna need a little more maroon in it to be more Sweet Baby Ray's though, right? Every shadow shade is a condiment. Mayo, cane sauce, honey mustard. We could call this barbecue sauce. Two different takes on barbecue there, right? I just know people are shouting out suggestions at home. Put them in the comments. Look at this pigment. I mean, it's soft too when you put your brush in. Like, if you want to maximize that pigment, then don't tap off the excess. I just didn't, and I'm getting, you know, really full pigment, and I don't think it's falling out onto my cheek to live with the random flecks of glitter that were left there by a sister Profusion product. I'm going to work back now to clay. This seems like it's going to be a perfect sort of blending out the edge type of color. Just a little bit right up here. These shades are very helpful to the blending process. Things that are a little bit peachy, you know, if it's a warm look, you might be thinking peach. Something just a little bit beigey. Just frankly, anything near your personal skin tone. It will make really easy work of your blending. And then I'm going over here to Flurry right at the end. And that can be kind of the cherry on top of your perfected, blended, soft crease. Okay, we're going to go straight over to the darkest brown with my Morphe M303. And I'm just going to pat that onto my outer lid. Interesting with this one, it's not as soft as the first three shades I used, which is fine by me. If it's still got the pigment, I don't want any more softness than is necessary, really, you know. I don't need a dark brown trailing down as fallout on my cheek. But we're getting that lid, flipping the brush, pulling it up. Oh, ease. I really need to hand it to this brush. Like, I could see this Morphe M303 making it into an Emily Awards video. It has filled the place of a brush that is no longer made, that was also by Morphe, but just super duper flat. And this having that little bit of fluff, honestly, it has made life really easy, because it's naturally, as you're packing onto your lid, it is like applying to your crease and blending it a little bit. New to eyeshadow, I think you need this one. Practically looks blended already. I'm just building a bit more, and then I take my crease brush. Crease brush is from Profusion, by the way. Love the Profusion eye brushes. And we'll just go over what we've done without anything added. And I don't want anybody to feel left out, so maybe we go to this shade right here. It's just a little bit lighter than that end shade. It's called Indulge. Maybe a little bit of that can just come to play in the outer corner, add to our lift, add to our shape. Woo, not mad at that. These mattes are working together in perfect harmony. And the neat thing about this is going to cost you like $5. Are you kidding? This was part of what I was saying when I did that TikTok video and I was talking about my overall takeaway on the Morphe palettes and how, you know, a lot of people are thinking these are God's gift to drugstore palettes, but they're still $15 and $20 and, you know, just a little more on the pricey side. You can't review those and be like, and I've tried everything. Well, what about these? So many people try everything, but then they ignore the most affordable drugstore brands. There you go. There's a pet peeve. All right, I've got those mattes blended to my satisfaction, and now we're looking up to the top row, thinking about these shades. Ooh, Icon, they're smooth. There's just a few. Love them. Take a little bit of Icon right here. This is your second one in line. A really pretty gleam on this. They call it metallic, but they did a great job not filling it with flecks of glitter and stuff. It just seems so smooth. It's like you got a Too Faced shadow palette in 2011 and you dipped into one of the shimmers and it came off exactly how it looked in the pan. I dig this so much. That's so good. And I'm going to get Major Dimension 1. Just saying. Like, wow. The brownish depth, midtones, lightness, shimmer up top, the shimmer in the Patrick Ta, more like kind of glitteriness, really, really fine sparkle bits in it. But something I've always patted Patrick Ta on the back for his palettes is the fact that that does adhere well to the eye, and I never have it flaking all over my face. The shimmers here seem like a smoother texture all around. But wow, if you're wanting that vibe, granted this doesn't contain 2 cream shadows as well, but if you're wanting that look, that color family, check out Nudes from Profusion. Now from Buxom, we've got some new things. I've got a variety of liners here. What are these actually called? Flipside Liner and Shadow Duo. I've also got their new Lash Extension Lift Mascara. Gonna be trying all of that. I'm just gonna pop open one of these. This is the one called Champagne and Chocolates. So what you're gonna have is a liner on one side, and I like that they're making it standard liner shape and size. Remember Buxom put out those things that were like rectangular retractable liners? They just really seemed like they wanted to break, and this seems soft and good. I'm not sure what the staying power is going to be like on that, but then the other side is going to twist off, and you've got a kind of spring-loaded powder dabber, so there's going to be a coordinating shade with each. So this is like your brown, and then your shadow is this light shimmer. Just thinking about how one of these might work into the look today. We've got one called Burgundy Bestie. Liner is Plum, a really pretty intensely purple plum. I'll come in with that in a sec. The shadow is kind of a ruby color. There's those. See that? I like the tone of the purple. We've got Pretty Penny. With this, we're getting dark brown, very intense brown on the liner, and a soft rose gold looking shadow. The shadow is really meshing in with my skin tone, but it's right there beside that dark brown liner. Can you see it? Dolly Days. Oh, this is going to be their mauve. And then a pinky shadow, and all the shadows are shimmery. Welcome. They're petting Bisky down there. There's that one. So the mauve, hi honey, love you. Mauve liner and pinky shadow. Totally Taupe, full-on gray eyeliner and a taupe shadow. There's Totally Taupe down there. Look at that complete pigmented gray. All the liner shades are very pigmented and holding their own, you know? And then back to black. So I'm guessing we've got our pure black liner, the only pure black liner in this mix, paired with, ooh, a full-on black shadow. So see, black liner, and that's the black shadow. So we went shimmer, 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 and then complete and total black. As I rub over the liners, it does appear that the liners have set. Those shadows want to move around a little bit naturally, but goodness, I think I might just go with the Champagne and Chocolates one, because I'm thinking, like, how can I use this in my already finished look? And I'm thinking this shadow, this really light shade, so this was the first one I swatched over here. This light shade could maybe come around my inner corner and pop a little. Can you see that? I totally can. Has anybody gone back to McDonald's and retried the snack wrap? I've had the ranch one. I really like it. And I have honestly made that a lot at home. Having the air fryer, all you gotta have on hand is some chicken strips, some lettuce, ranch, or whatever sauce you like to use, and some shredded cheese, and you're there, you know? So I'm trying a little bit of this liner on the lower lash line. I'm finding myself thinking that it would have been nice to maybe have had a few deeper shades in the shadow. just to kind of like even smudge over the liner. You know, maybe a couple of these could have been that way, but I still think it's kind of a cool concept. This brown looks a little softer than the brown that was in Pretty Penny. This is just a little bit lighter brown, but it's still giving some definition. This liner is brand new, granted, but it is very soft and nice. And again, I'm glad they didn't give it a real funky shape. I might want it a little more smudgy down here. But I kind of trust that that's going to last because it set really well on my hand. And then you know what they also sent? Along with the mascara, there's a fun little eyelash curler. Should I try it? I'm so loyal to my Shiseido. I really rarely bounce around anymore. But this says Buxom. Are they actually making this, or was this just like a little PR extra? Hang on. Okay, I don't see this being sold anywhere. I think they just put the Buxom name on kind of a random lash curler and said, here you go, friends. But as far as the mascara, they say it's lash extensions in a bottle. It's tubing. Hopefully we like that. I do find this a little bit hard to grip. Like, I feel like it might slip out of my hands. The color's cool though. And the card did say that the little liners, I didn't notice that they had something about the flip side liner and shadows, but the liner is waterproof. It would be kind of handy, you know, if you found one of those you really liked, you could go all over your lids with the shadow, do kind of a one shadow look. Long bristles on a curved brush. I think that curled my lashes pretty well. It didn't get quite as deep to my lash line as Shiseido does though. Immediately, there's like absolutely no excess, except for that tiny clump right there in the inner part as soon as I said that. It's really just lengthening them out. So this will be definitely about how does it build. They say it's tubing, and a lot of times with tubing mascaras, you don't want to wait too long to build another coat. So I'm gonna just immediately, I dip back in, add some more. Who's rummaging around in there? Oh, okay. Coat number 2. Now you're really seeing it, right? I am seeing some impressive length out of this. I'm gonna take a little break from that side and go over to here. Okay, now I feel like I just curled that with a real clamp like mid lash. I did not get to the roots at all over here. Darn it. One coat doing about what it did on the other eye, so I'm going to add more immediately. Really like the level of blackness. And again, I like the length. And now that I'm going back over to this eye, it feels kind of like things dried, you know? And I think I'm going to trust them on the tubing claim and go to the lower lash line too. Because if it's tubing, it's not smearing off. I like these random trying new things out videos. I can always follow up on things as I continue to work with them more, but they're fun. Finish off with another coat on this eye, and then I think I'm going to call it a day on mascara. It was good. The strength of the product is the length, and hopefully it's staying power too. I just did not get an ideal curl, especially over here. Finally, friends, it's so funny because I didn't even know I had this in the mail. And yesterday I randomly used the Lawless Cherry Vanilla Gloss, like I have this jumbo size of that. And then you know what they sent? Their new Cherry Pop shade. Okay, so they're acknowledging that yes, there was Cherry Vanilla, and now Cherry Pop is a sheer red tint with a pop of sparkle. We'll see how the Cherry Pop is. I'll first put it on its own, and then if we need to add something else, I can take it off and adjust. Oh, it smells so good. Yes, give me all that cherry, that Kool-Aid packet cherry. Yep. I am seeing the embedded shimmer in this. But it's very sheer. And same with the other one too, you know, it just gives you a glaze of a reddish hue. But I think the shine is amped up a little bit because there's some shimmer in this one. Kind of like it as is with this look. I'm gonna most definitely keep working with this mascara because I see a lot of potential here. I got a better curl on this side than this one, but you can see there's really good length. So what were the faves of the video? I really was impressed with Rimmel Multitasker, the stick. That blended so well, had a really high-end feeling texture. So enjoyed that a ton and really liked the nudes palette from Profusion. Those might be my top 2 things. The only glaring dud were these highlighters from Profusion. That's just not my thing. But actually really impressed by this Buxom mascara, so that'll get a lot more shots going forward. I'm getting that cooling feel on my lips here. I never feel like Lawless Forget the Filler glosses do some kind of drastic plumping job. I think they're so thick and rich that they're very good about undoing any lines in your lips, so that way they look fuller. But there's a nice kind of refreshing, cooling vibe to them. Not a stingy, uncomfortable thing, so I do like that. That's my video. I hope you enjoyed this look at a bunch of new makeup. Thank you always so much for taking time to watch or listen. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you again very soon. I love you. Bye.